Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a retirement and income specialist, certified financial fiduciary, and the founder of SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Tim primarily serves Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies using life, health, long-term care, and annuity insurance products. And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Tim Wood.
Hello, this is Tim Wood, your host, welcoming you to the Safe Money Retirement Show. I'm an asset and retirement protection specialist and your one-stop source for capital preservation and strategic income planning. I talk to clients almost every single day and have to explain to them what the steps are to go from the mindset that we have always had, which is accumulation. Y'all have heard me talk about this before. For our whole lives, we have been focused solely on accumulation and accumulating as much wealth as we possibly can, which is great. But then once you are fully into retirement, you move from accumulation to distribution because you need income. Well, how do you make that switch and how do you do it smartly? That's what we're going to talk about. First, if you don't already have a copy of my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, you really owe it to yourself to get a free copy. There is absolutely no obligation. We are sending this out as a way to help people plan for their own retirement and know what's really out there. And know what you can do for yourself in retirement. So give us a call, 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. You can call that number 24/7 or just log on to our new website, Safe Money Retirement, S-A-F-E, SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Ton of information on there. You can set appointments. You can register for an upcoming webinar. There's all kinds of things you can do on there. All right. So let's talk about how you make the change from accumulation to distribution and how you do it wisely. Now, what I see a lot of clients doing is literally making that switch almost instantly, just like that. Now, what do I mean? I mean, for their entire lives, they've been accumulating. And then as soon as they hit retirement, they realize, oh, now I need to distribute, and they literally make the switch instantly. Now, that can work in a lot of cases, but the challenge is if we are 5 or 10 or 15 years out from your retirement. So in other words, that works great. That immediate change works great if you're in retirement now. If you've been accumulating, and you're now in retirement, that instant change works fantastic, and that's what we do. But if we can get to it 5, 10, preferably even 15 years before retirement, then we actually add another step in there between being in accumulation plans and going to distribution plans. And I'll talk about what that means here in just a minute as well. But there is another step in there if we have time, and that's called preservation. So what I'm saying is once you reach 5, 10, 15 years from your target retirement date, we need to start moving some of those funds now out of at-risk accounts. And what do I mean by at-risk? Anything, if there's a major market event, something that's going to lose money in it. So something that has market risk, something that has sequence of returns risks. There's a lot of different risks that we can look at. But the thing is, if you're getting close to retirement and whatever your nest egg is, if there's a major market event, and all of that is at risk, that's a scary place to be. That's a stressful place to be. So what we do is we add in a third step in between the accumulation phase and the distribution phase, and we phase it in, and we call it preservation. So we would take a portion of that accumulation, maybe 15 years out, and let's protect it and get it growing in something that can't ever have any losses. And then maybe 10 years, we take a little bit more out. And then at 5 years, we take a little bit more out. So by the time we're to distribution, even if a major market event event has happened, it doesn't decimate your retirement portfolio like staying in accumulation products all the way up till the day of your retirement. God forbid there's a market crash a month before you retire. Like what happened to my father, for those of you that have read my book, a major market event happened for the first 4 years he was retired. That's why he had to go back to work. That's why his retirement account went from a nice, healthy 6-figure account to a 5-figure savings account, and he went back to work. Don't let that happen to you. So if we have the time, the accumulation phase, again, that's great. That's what we've been doing our whole lives. Let's accumulate as much as we possibly can so we can have the retirement of our dreams. If you're going into retirement right away, yes, we need to go ahead and move a good portion of that, if not all of it, out of those at-risk accounts and into accounts that are either going to pay you a guaranteed income or that are going to have growth with no losses due to any kind of market event. So it just depends on exactly what your goals are. The first thing we normally take care of is income, because income is what brings happiness in retirement. Y'all have heard me talk about that over and over and over. And that study is on safemoneyretirement.com. If you want to go read it yourself, you can. But income is what brings happiness in retirement. Assets actually bring more stress, and that's not what you need in the retirement years. So anyway, if you're all the way into retirement, then we need to make that switch immediately. But if we've got some time, if you're a few years out even, if you're 5 years out, 3 years out, 10 years out, and you're starting to in your mind, make a plan, what do we need to do? Well, step number 1, sit down with a certified financial fiduciary like myself, and let's figure out a wise plan to help you make that transition from accumulation to distribution. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to stop accumulating. It means we're going to stop accumulating in accounts that are at risk. We're going to move those at-risk accounts into something that has zero risk from any kind of market event. Maybe not all of it. Again, if you're 10 years out, we probably don't want to do all of it, but we want to do a portion then. And then a few years later, we'll do some more. And a few years later, we'll do some more. So by the time we get to your date of retirement, we've got things moved. You don't have to worry about anything happening in the market. You've got guaranteed income. You've got guaranteed growth. And we've got a plan moving forward so we know where you're going to be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road. We can predict it, and we can give you a relatively good idea of what that's going to look like. So anyway, just to recap real quick, if you're already in retirement and we need to make that switch from accumulation to distribution, we can do it instantly. We can do it right now. And that's something absolutely that you need to look at. If all of your accounts are still in at-risk type of plans, whether it's a 401, an IRA, a brokerage account, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's all at risk and you're already in retirement, that's a red flag. So we need to get some into distribution type accounts and safe type accounts as soon as possible. But if you've got some time, sit down with a professional and come up with a plan to help make that transition from accumulation to distribution smooth, and add in that middle part, which is preservation, to help you protect from any future market event. Well, I must take a short break. This is Tim Wood, and you're listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. Let's pause for some exciting announcements.
Did you know that your Social Security could be much higher depending on which option you choose for claiming your benefit? Social Security income is more complex than some think. When should you take it? Should you only take your spouse's benefit while you continue to work? Deciding how to receive your Social Security benefits can make your head spin. Don't decide about your retirement without the facts. Call us now and ask for your complimentary Social Security guide at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Your Social Security is too important to leave to chance. Call us now at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. You're listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome back to the Safe Money Retirement Show. I'm Tim Wood, a Safe Money Retirement Specialist. by now we're all familiar with those emails that you get, or even text messages these days that say, click here if you want to opt out of this email sequence or opt out of this marketing program or whatever it is. And it made me think how there is a way to opt out of market risk, but not everyone takes advantage of that. So that's what we're going to talk about really quick. First, if you don't already have a copy of my book, you hear me talking about it all the time, 833-413-SAFE, or log on to our new website, safemoneyretirement.com, and get your copy for free right now. No obligation. So how can you opt out of market risk? Is that really a thing? Is that even a possibility? And I'm here to tell you, yes, it is. If you move into the type of products that you hear me talk about every single week, these are all fixed products that I'm talking about. No matter where you're listening to me from, all across the United States, there are fixed products available out there that will either pay you a guaranteed income as long as you're alive, or they can have growth based on either a fixed rate or growth based on something that you can change between a fixed rate and a market indexed rate. There's several different ways it can grow, but all of these products have no chances for losses, and most of them have absolutely no fees. Unless you're paying for a specific benefit like a guaranteed lifetime income product, then you pay a little fee because you're getting that benefit. But in general, the plans themselves have absolutely no fees. So how can you opt out of market risk? Well, you can move your money from at-risk accounts. And what do I mean by at-risk accounts? Are anything that's any of your money that's in an account right now that if there was a major market event, it would impact you. I mean, like if we had another 2008, 2009, or 2002 through 2003, or 98, 90. I mean, we can go back and see that that's what the market does. There's big corrections. If there was a major correction, are you at risk? If so, do you want to opt out of that risk? If so, it's time for us to talk. It's time for you to get a copy of my book and read what you can do to protect your retirement savings from anything that could happen in the market. And we're talking about trying to get rid of longevity risk. We're talking about getting rid of sequence of returns risk, just market risk. There's multiple different risks, and we can take almost every single one of them off the table if it's done properly. So when you decide you're ready to opt out of that stress and opt out of having to worry about what's going on in the market and opt out of wondering whether you're going to have enough, make a plan, make it a plan with someone that you know you can trust that's going to have your best interests at heart all the time. That means working with a certified financial fiduciary, folks. That's what that means. And opt into having some peace of mind and knowing that your retirement is going to be what you've always wanted it to be. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market loss. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe from market losses and that you have an income you can't outlive so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your complimentary Safe Money Retirement Book and Information Kit at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Or request your copy of Tim's book online at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.